So here's my attempt to make a tutorial for making, I'm not even sure what you would call this, this little Kandi star fidget. I saw this on Pinterest and I immediately went, oh, I want to make this, so I did, and it's a great fidget toy. But it's very easy to make. You're just making 2 stars and attaching them, and I'm going to show you really quickly how to make 1 star. First, you're going to need 10 beads for the center and 15 for the points. And I'm also making this a much more simplified color scheme, so it's easier to follow along. I'm also not gonna lie, I never measure my thread. I know it's a bad habit, I know I should, but I don't. Anyway, step 1. You're gonna take your thread and you're basically gonna make a single. Now for making singles, I always attach something on the end of the thread, so that way I feel like I don't have to hold on and I have both hands free. But you're gonna you're gonna put all 10 of your center beads onto your thread and tie it in a very tight, like, single bracelet. So I'll show you what that looks like in a second. So now that I got those first 10 beads on there, I'm going to take off the clothespin and I'm going to tie it very tightly. I'm going to pull it as snugly as possible because that is how you help the star keep its shape. It should be as firm as possible. It should not be easy to maneuver the beads. So now you've pulled that tight, you're just going to tie it into a knot. I don't really do any fancy knots. I know I probably should for durability's sake, but I don't. I do knot it multiple times, however. All right, that is going to make up the center of the star, and now you're going to take the long end, loop it through one of the beads, and then you're going to put 1, 2, 3 of your secondary color, like that. You're going to skip over 1 bead, and you're going to thread it in, oh, there we go, into the next one. And once again, pull it tight. You're going to repeat this process another 4 times around the border to create all 5 points of the star. So once you've done that, you're going to coil this thread around. What I always do is through 1 point, let's get rid of that little tail, you don't need him, through that point, loop it around, maneuver it so it kind of gets wedged between the 2 beads so you don't see it, and then pull, and then 1 more time, through the point, loop it around itself, and then pull. And that's how you make a star, and then you just go ahead and trim the long ends. So repeating the process again, you're going to end up with 2 stars, and then you're going to connect them by their little points here. And for this, it is pretty easy to measure out what length you want, because the string is just going to be whatever length you want that connection to be, but doubled over on itself. So you're going to loop it through one end of one of the star's points, and on the original I used 8 beads because, I don't know, I liked how it looked. But then you're going to put 8 beads over both of these strings, like so. So now that this has been strung together, I'm just going to take these 2 little ends and loop them through one of our other star's points. And I want this one to be a little bit looser, but we're still going to try to pull that string kind of taut. Oop, not that. I want there to be a bit more wiggle in this one than I have in my last one. But it's looped through the end. Now we're just going to tie a knot. And there you go. That's how I make this weird little star Kandi fidget toy thing.
So here are the stitches I used to make my Miku wig. Here's my very rough version that I made out of paper just so I can describe it better. So basically this little ring here, you know how like when you start a multi-stitch and you have like that 1 2 1 2 bead pattern? So that's basically what I did, and then I kind of made a multi-stitch, but like specifically only in one part of this thing, and then that like I like bent that. Can you stay? Okay. I like bent that upward until it met over here, which is where I would put my bangs, but I didn't do that because I didn't feel like it. And then I also, as you can see, stitched the pigtails on from the top so that it would cover the hole better. Going back to the wig itself, I don't have one of those like heads that cosplayers have because I don't usually cosplay. You like can't see it, but I did in fact like make the bangs by myself and then like sew them on. Oh yeah, the way I made the texture up here is I basically like I made like this huge peyote thing that like crossed over, and these ended up being the front part. They were originally supposed to be the pigtails, but they were too thin, so this piece is also peyote, but I added some single ladder stitches on the edge. This is my personal favorite part. These are the stars that I connected through the corners. And you can just look up any tutorial for shape cuffs on YouTube. I mean, the way I did it is like I like kind of skipped I forgot how many beads I used to make this, but it was multiple 4. And I took I skipped the bead at like when there was a 4th, if that makes sense. Yeah, have fun making a wig if you have the time.
Kandi Cat Cuff Tutorial. BC someone asked for it.
There you go, I'm taking chances, sip your ass from champagne glasses. Gotta have you, I'm moving closer, I won't take no for an answer. You're looking crazy, you're looking wrong, it looks like we're gonna get along. And once I've got you, it's a fact, baby, there's no turning back. Make me impressed. Make me obsessed.
So you want to make candy, but you don't know where to start. First, get yourself some beads and some string. You can find beads anywhere, the dollar store, craft store, online stores, sometimes thrift stores. Feel free to get crafty with your storage. Once you have supplies, start with making single bracelets. Now it's all about your own creativity and self-expression. Once you start making bracelets, share them with other people. When you're ready to make more than bracelets, there's all kinds of tutorials and also a pattern website where you can make and share your own patterns. I'll see you next time. Happy candy making.
I just want her love. I know this pretty singer, I wish you could have seen her. I know she got some problems, but I don't wanna leave her. And every time I see her, she makes me get this feeling. It feels just like I'm dreaming, gets me higher than the ceiling. I know this pretty singer, I wish you could have seen her. I know she got some problems, but I don't wanna leave her. And every time I see her, she makes me get this feeling. It feels just like I'm dreaming, gets me higher than the ceiling.
Tutorial on these hearts. Put 8 beads on a string and tie it. Cut the small string off and make sure it's in this shape. Put 3 beads on the string and do what I do. Do it again. And to tie, put the string through the middle to create a loop and put the end of the string through the loop.
What's yippee?
Tutorial for Candy Duck Cuff. What you will need: